I want to tell you a little story. I just had coffee with a friend of mine, and she was talking to me about her daughter who's just had a new baby. I think the baby must be like 7 weeks old or something now, so a really new baby, and it's just beautiful for them. But she was talking about the bonding and the relationship that happens between the mother and baby. Those early years are so important to develop those really strong relationships with children. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in later life if relationships aren't developed well in those early years. So how do you do that? Well, as children get older, you can just spend 1 minute a day with children and ask them something about themselves, about their lives. What did you think about that rock that you were playing with? Why did you want to play that game? And what about our puppy that we've just got? Do you really love the way the puppy bites on and chews on all of the shoes? Just little things where you're asking questions about them as a person, not what do you want for dinner, or what are you going to wear, or do you want to have your bath, or do you want to have a shower? Not those sorts of questions. We want open questions that really give you a little bit of insight as to how your child thinks, and that's what builds relationships. Think of it like this. If you went and had coffee with somebody and they just asked you really superficial questions, do you want coffee or tea? And you answer. Do you want to sit here or here? And you answer. Do you want cake or a meal? And you answer. And that was it. That's that superficial level of question and answer. That serve and return conversation. It's not really a conversation at all. It's an interview. It's questions and answers. So we don't want to do that with our children. We want to have these deep, rich relationships with children, and we want to really talk to them and ask them about what they think about things, and what made them do something in a particular way, and how could they fix a certain problem. Ask them really deep questions, and that continues all the way from childhood through middle childhood, through adolescence, through adulthood. If we really ask questions because we're genuinely curious, that's what helps to develop the relationship between a parent and child, but also between colleagues, between siblings, between everybody. Because as human beings, it's in our DNA to be social. It's in our DNA to have relationships with people and connect with people on a really personal level. So for the future generations, we need to make sure that we actually ask with interest and look with curiosity, not with animosity, when the behaviours aren't quite as we want them to be. So what are you going to do today to build a relationship with someone that maybe you don't have a good relationship with?